Coming with some hot topics later. Oh, I'm sorry. Can we go? We ain't gonna start acting up.
I think y'all already
That was
started.
good, girl. Give it. Bring it some.
I don't like the smell of cinnamon. Smell like
You gotta slide over, sister girl.
Well, hello everybody.
Hey.
So we're all here today.
Amen.
Barb's the boss has been away for a minute, but we're happy to have her back with us.
Thank you.
And today we're talking about Black history, but we're gonna start with introducing ourselves, and then we'll dive into Black history.
All right.
Starting at that end.
Oh.
I'm Barb, the boss.
I'm Mocha. Say it about that life. Listen, y'all, I'm eating hot tamales.
I cannot right now.
That's why they came with me.
Can we do that over?
They're gonna do it over.
Because I got a keychain today from Purpose and Passion, and it say "Be the boss."
Ooh.
Be the boss.
And she said she didn't like how cinnamon smelled. What you mean?
Into
I'm sorry.
Family, purpose and passion.
Dewana, the corporate type, and we are
The Walks of Life.
So we're glad that you're here on this journey with us tonight. We're talking
you.
about Black history. We all are bringing someone past, present, local that we're going to talk about. But I wanted to just kind of share how Black history even started. Like, why do we even get 1 month? I think
Ooh.
2 weeks ago, someone said, I don't like Black history 1 month. It should be every month.
Because it is.
It's every
All
day.
year.
We Black history every day.
Because we Black all
Because
day.
we
every
are
day.
history.
Ooh. We
Just
are.
saying, just
Some
saying.
books say we the longest history. Just saying.
That's the fact.
Black
It is.
History Month honors the contributions of African Americans to U.S. history. Among prominent figures are Madam C.J. Walker, who was the first U.S. woman to become a self-made millionaire, and George Washington Carver, who derived nearly 300 products from peanut. So, I'm going to start off with just a little more about Black history and why it's in February. The celebration of Black History Month began as a Negro History Week, which was created in 1926 by Carter G. Woodson, a noted African American historian, a scholar, educator, and publisher. It became a month-long celebration in 1976. If you did not know that, I didn't know that.
Me either. Did you know?
The month of February was chosen to coincide with the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln.
Interesting.
Very.
Didn't know that.
Very.
Didn't know that.
Did
Good
not know
information.
that.
Good to know your history, huh?
So, my Black history person that I want to talk about is I have a couple, but I'm gonna just keep it simple. My daughter's great grandfather was the owner of the Black Holocaust Museum down in Milwaukee. He was a lynch man. He escaped a lynching and moved to Milwaukee. And I met him right before he passed away in 2003, way before my daughter was born. So I'm pretty proud to have got to know a real live lynched person. And the fact that he started the Black Holocaust Museum, which when he passed it closed down, but now it's back up again. Pretty honored to have known this man, and plus he's my daughter's great grandfather.
Wow.
My
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I want to pay. I don't even. Yeah, I'm going to say today. I want to recognize my grandfather, the late Walter Martin Sr. He served in World War. I want to say I want to say 3, I was confronted with the family. Back in the 1938, I want to believe, I'm saying between 30s and 40s, but he did serve in the war. I remember growing up with him, a very strict militant man, to where now as me being older, the things that he was telling us back then coming up, now I see what he was talking about. There's time when a man would blow the horn in front of our house, he would holler out, "Don't no hoes live here." He better get out, come to the door, and come and wait, don't. But he was just like that, teaching us, how a woman should be respected. So, love you, God bless you. To Walter Martin Sr., my late grandfather.
Purpose.
How you gonna go to me and I just skip me to go to her? That's you next.
You the smallest.
That is not gonna fly. So I mean, we're talking about someone locally.
It could be past,
You know,
present, or local.
Yeah. Honestly, my person of interest that I love and will forever love, and I consider for real Black history, she's still with us. Hey, girl. Is Vanessa Williams.
Okay.
And, because I always felt like pretty girls get some kind of shade. They're always looked at like they're not smart because they're pretty, or they got where they're going because they're
Thank
pretty.
you.
And Vanessa Williams to me is like everything.
She paved the way. Yeah.
She's a designer. She's an actress. She's a singer, and she was the very first Black Miss America in 1984.
Vanessa.
And a lot of people don't know that. Like I talked to my students, and they were like, "Who? What?"
Yeah.
And they took her crown from her
Like,
because of something that she had
True.
did in her young dumb years. But you know how many of you other folks still doing your dumb, but you get to keep your crown. But that woman, I'm just saying,
Look at
that
you,
woman,
girl.
she is everything to me, and she is extremely beautiful, and she's
And
a great
smart.
wife and a great mom, and she's to me, she made history, and she's still making history because she's
Yes.
still here with us today. And so, hey, I don't know if anybody knows her.
Hey, Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa. I love you, lady.
Wait, didn't she sing? Didn't she have an album?
Yes.
Yes, I got work to do. I got
yes.
a job, baby.
Yeah.
That was her. I don't know, but I used to think like if I could meet her.
Thank you.
If
Yes.
I could meet her, and if y'all know my mentor is Crystal Roundtree. Hey, girl, she looks like a spitting image. I
Do she?
When I saw her, I was like, oh, God sent her here for me. And guess what? When she walked in that mega church, she gravitated right over to me.
Oh,
And we're still like this to this day.
She knew their energy.
And she is a woman of God, and I know Vanessa Williams is too. I didn't even have to look that up.
She
but I
is.
know you
Yeah.
are. Yeah. So okay,
Bar
boss.
the balls.
Be the
What up
boss.
now?
I'm not ready.
Okay.
Cause I got like
But you got your granddaddy, you got your mom, you got all these people.
your granny.
She said, I got so many.
It's so many to choose from.
It be true.
I don't know. I guess I could do my grandmother.
Yes, please. Oh,
Um,
means.
she was born in a little town. You don't appreciate people that has history until after they're gone. Like you really don't appreciate them.
That's what Notorious B.A. said.
So I
So like
anyway, she ended up passing away at like 94 years
Back it
old,
up.
but like throughout time I watched how hard and strong she was.
Yes.
She was a very small lady, but she always outdid everyone. Like she talked about picking cotton, like she picked more cotton than her brothers. She always had the drive. Like everybody that I feel like make Black history, they got so much drive and so much their statements is so powerful for me. And then I listened to her talk about like living through like Emmett Till, Martin Luther King marches, and going from a horse and buggy to a car, a crank
for
car.
real?
Yeah, from a
Wow.
horse and buggy to a car that you used to start with cranking in the front.
Wow. She told you all those stories?
Yeah, and it's
And she, how old was she? She passed away?
94.
94.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 94.
Wow.
But you know, you don't hear things like, you don't appreciate them until
There you go.
seem like after that. You know, you don't really, I don't know,
Grasp
pay
it.
attention.
Yeah.
Like you hear it. I guess that's what happens with your kids. Like we constant. I guess we all a part of Black history, huh?
Yes.
Facts.
Mothers.
I'm the best mom that ever did it. I'm just
Hey,
saying that out
no, you
there.
can say that.
Just throw that out there.
Yeah. If you don't, who will? You. That's right.
But
Do
yeah.
you all think that we should, as African American women, kind of set the tone to what our kids should be learning about our own history?
I think that's important to me.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, on our way to service this morning, I was telling my little one, I said, you know, without releasing any names, but I said, you know, I said, this Sunday we're gonna finish out this month of February. We're gonna be going over here to fellowship. I said because I love where we go, but I don't. This is me. I don't want to feel like somebody's trying to derail the word and what it is. You know, you may be led to read this one area, but listen here. This is real. I am Black history. This you know, we want to, you know, really honor that, you know, back to us and honor it to our ancestors who was before us. So, and then I let her know. I said when we go, it kind of remind me of your school in some way, because you didn't tell me anything about Black history plays at school. They said one thing about Dr. MLK, his famous speech. But,
Of course I had
but
to.
was there anything else? No, ma'am. I didn't think so.
Like who invented the
It was nothing else. Just
It's
that
just so
it was
many
just that little
different-
portion. So it is important that they know.
So
I'm going to say I'm probably ignorant to a lot of what our Black history is because I went to all white school. They didn't teach Black history. So I'm probably a parent that need to be learning with my kid of all the
right.
African Americans who made a contribution to our history along with the kids because I'm not teaching it at home. And I'm you know.
But you know,
You're helping somebody else now. So thank
it's
you.
really, I mean, I don't know, this just came to me, but it's really interesting because we keep saying Black history like it has to be somebody that did something hugely great, but just being a good mother is hugely great because that's what's bringing what's gonna be what's next. So like you as just being a mother and being there and corporate finest,
All right.
purpose and passion, saved and about that life,
Jesus.
and be the boss.
That's a bad combination right there. Ooh.
It's awesome, and I feel like we are a part of history because we're instilling in our children what we need them to do to keep this going, the goodness part of it going. Because we're, as Black people, get a bad rap, like in movies, in books. You know, we cursed. You know, and that's not true.
Right.
So trying to refigure out what our worth is and get into it is huge.
So I
This can get really deep right
I-
now. You know that, right?
I took my son down to Memphis to the Civil Rights Museum, and you know it's a replica. It's the actual hotel where Martin Luther King was shot and killed, and everything is set up in the room in the hotel, the motel, the way that it was. You know, it wasn't. It was enough information in the Civil Rights Museum, but it's a lot of stuff that we knew. But there was one, oh my goodness, if I could just find this photo and show you all. It was as if he just blended in and he felt what was going on with the people, with us as a people, you know, and how we were treated. And we was treated so less that they didn't want to pay us to dump garbage. You know, we couldn't even be a sanitation worker at the time. And so I really didn't know, because growing up, I had a lot of gaps in my memory because of some trauma. And so I don't really recall a lot of things about Black history as well. And sometimes when people are so pro-Black, it used to turn me off.
Okay.
Facts. I'd be like, it ain't that serious. You know, we don't live like that no more. But the reality is we still live like that. It's just how we, you know, how we maneuver amongst it now, you know, amongst, you know, this organized thing called slavery and racism everywhere still. But a few weeks ago, I had taken him we went to Detroit, and we went to the Charles Wright Museum. And if no one in here has ever been, I wouldn't advise taking your child if your child don't know enough, because my kid too goes to a white school, and I sometimes feel bad, but it's unfortunate that the schools that, you know, that are black, that are in our zone, are failing our kids. Just it's a shame. You got 32 kids, and then you got a 25-year-old teacher who's white, don't understand black culture, don't understand how to handle black kids. She's yelling and screaming about, you know, the second month, and it's 32 kids, and now 2 might be learning because the other 30 is playing because there's nobody paying attention to them, and this is what's going on.
Okay.
Well, I took them to this Charles Wright Museum, and when we go down, they had a full exhibit of a slave ship. And as we were going on, I used to try to talk to him and, you know, just give him a little bit of 411 that what I did read was black people sold black people into slavery. Now, black people are angry about that and don't want to believe that, but it was the reality of what I read, and that was the facts. But the reason it was done was because these black people were completely different from these black people. They looked alike, but they were different. They were different people, because the black people that were sold into slavery were people that came with all these gifts and talents that these black people of wealth had no idea how to do. They couldn't even put 2 sticks together and rub it to make fire, let alone build the temples. And so, and I do have that. I wanted to read just a little bit of the things, because a lot of people, we know black people invented air greaser, black people, you know, little stupid stuff.
Because we did all the work, though.
We did all the work. So. And so when they sold, but the thing is, I wanted to share, and I'll read the list as, you want to read it? Yeah. My son, when I took him down in the slave ship, the images were so real and so graphic and so lifelike. They had all of these black people, and they were cut like this, you know, and they were chained. And my son said, "Mama," and he immediately started to cry. And I was like, "Oh," because I didn't know. And I was like, wait, what's wrong? He was like, "No, my stomach, please get me out of here." And he just had his face buried into my stomach. And I literally couldn't walk because he was holding me so. And I was like, "It's okay." He was like, "No, it's not." It wasn't okay. Right. And that's an image that will forever be with him. And it's sad, but that's the same thing today when you look at the prisons and the overpopulation of them. The majority of the people that are in the prisons all over the United States, and probably outside too, are black. But just to throw this out here, billion. And it's right now. You can purchase stock if you want to get the money. There it is. But I'm going to throw out a few things. This is from A to Z. And if y'all could see this list, it's forever. I know you can't, but I'm going to just throw out a few names. These are the things that the black people that were being sold into slavery came with. This is why they were slaves. Right. The black people that enslaved them, they were anchor makers, they were artists and bakers, they were bartenders and basket makers and blacksmiths, they were boat coaters, they were boat men, they were bookbinders, they were boot blacks, they were brewers and bricklayers, they were brush makers and burners and butchers, and I'm going down, they were cabinet makers. And I had to take a picture of that, because I'm going to tell you something, this is what's not being said. This is what's not being taught. That their history is his story. It's God's story. These are his people that were enslaved. It's biblical. If you read it, I won't take you so deep, but it is important for us to teach our kids. Because if we don't, they'll grow up ignorant and, you know, to the facts.
That's it.
And then when they learn something, we can't even help them because we don't know. So it's for us to educate ourselves as well, even as adults. What we didn't know then, we need to know now.
That's true.
Because history repeats itself.
World War II. I was right.
Okay.
Wow. Amazing.
And then let's go on. So,
I wanted to bring up my grandmother has been so deep in the Milwaukee community that she's being honored this Friday.
Coming up.
This Friday by the city for being a black historian.
Yep.
Yes.
For all that she's doing.
God, my man. That's my word.
God bless you, Miss Martha.
She definitely made an impact in my life when I was a
Yes.
teenager. I remember we used to go to her restaurant, and that was when I was back in the day in my life, you know. And she said to me, out of all the people in there, she said, you know, God got a call on your life. And you don't have to live the life you live in. And I'm saying to myself, what life is that? You know, because you don't know you're in darkness until you get out. But she made it her business to talk to me, and that stayed with me. And I used to not want to go to that restaurant because I didn't want her to point me out and single me out when the whole restaurant had other people in there. And I'm thinking, you know, you could be talking to somebody else. But she is definitely a pillar in the community, a mom to all, a grandmother to many, and she inspired me to want to know if there was more to me
Yeah.
than what met the eye.
Can I say something too? You had a surprise birthday party the year before last, and she happened to be there. And and she had corporate had a surprise birthday party, and Miss Martha was there. And at the end of the party, I went by. We were talking about the word because she loves it, and I do too. She'll get the word with you to anybody. Whoever wants to listen, have an ear, she will. And I said a long time ago, I asked her. I said, what's your sign? I was into that at that moment, and she looked, cause we shared the same, and she said, well, astrology says this, but my sign is the cross. And I said, them years ago you told me that, and to this day, I do the same. They'll say, what's your sign? And I say, well, astrology says this, but my sign is the cross. So thank you, Miss Martha.
I love it. Hey, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
had to drop that one in there. Couldn't go without saying anything.
Yes.
I'm honored to be her granddaughter.
She's 81 years old.
Is she 81?
She-
39? Shit.
I believe she told me.
82?
I believe you told me you was 80 years young the other day. Yeah. And I mean, I'm like 81 where?
She is a beautiful person.
Yes, and she ain't tired yet. Yeah.
All right. So, Black history. So, what can we do? I know you mentioned that, we are making history because we're in this YouTube group, but what can we do more than this group? How can we impact other people?
Well, we supposed to start the hot topics, right? So let's pick a person and say what they did every episode for a hot topic. Let's learn more about just the obvious Black history, our regular people that everybody talk about, but it's deeper than them. It goes back further than them. So let's start exposing more of history.
Be getting more out into the
There you go.
community. Yeah.
There you go.
I know I did reach out to, again, Miss Martha. We spoke verbally, and she said to tell you all that it would be to her an honor and a treat to sit amongst us and to tell her story and to ask, the questions that we may have for her. So I'm looking forward to sitting down with the great Miss Martha.
Okay.
She's Black history.
I like your idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already kind of putting ourselves out there and being before a lot of viewers, but I like how, incorporating more, other people.
I mean, because there's no limit, and no matter what we involved in, you can see that we go over and beyond in anything, whether it's sports, doctors, we got heart, just everything. So, I mean, I think we would understand our worth if we knew that it was more than just 2 or 3 people in our history. So if you know that a Black lady invented a curling iron, or or a straightening comb, then you would be more to say, oh, okay. So this runs deep. It's in our DNA memory that we have all these skills. Instead of being angry, we should be proud.
Come on, right?
So, I mean, I just, that's how I feel. I mean,
Anything else on Black history?
Black history is all year long.
It is.
Stop celebrating that month. and getting all happy about some same people they talk about forever, ever, and ever. I'm personally tired of it, sick of it. I am.
Okay.
Like, my son, for Black History, he goes to an all-white school, and he was like, Michael Jackson is his Black History person. They was like, oh, Michael Jackson is a Black History. He was like, yes, he is. Now he's 7.
Okay.
Yes, he is. He was back in the day. That's his favorite word. He from back in the day.
He was.
And he's black. And guess what? He is Black History. He's the king of pop. Ain't nobody ever did it like that man did it. So, let's talk about some things that are relevant. Let's stop. I think it is definitely, it's systematic. It's what they call systematic oppression, where you can keep a people oppressed so long so they don't go beyond what the scope is, what they put before you. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman. Okay, guess what? Guess how many more black people in the world?
My daddy.
So many more
My
to talk
granny.
about. Just like we sat
That's
here and
it.
just talked about.
Yes.
It's so much more out
Yes.
there. But they feed you a little bit at a time. And now you find out, oh, there was a black person made a straight and comb. Who else gonna make a straight and comb? White people ain't gonna make no straight and comb. I'm just saying. So don't get mad at me, white people, when you see the episode. It's the facts. But the reality is, if you could have bought that patent, you'd have put it on you put your name on it. Like, I made that straight and comb. Because that's exactly what a lot of them have done.
It's a black
Can I just be
lady
real?
You can be real. Yes, you
whose
can. This is our
DNA
channel.
is making medicine still to this day, and they don't want to pay her family.
They just sold Aunt
wow.
Mama, she just sold her pancake mix to them white people. And they didn't pay
She
the
didn't
whole
stop,
new
it don't be getting sold. They stole.
No, they sold it.
stole
She sold it. But here's the thing. This is what they did. They see, oh, you got skills? I'll offer you a check, dangle that, because you hungry. And you don't really have enough information on, well, if I don't sell it to you, but keep selling it to the masses, I'll be a millionaire. But I could be wealthy and I could be, rich with this check and sit back and kick my feet up and I ain't got make another mix. Okay, a lot of names, white people got their names on a lot of things that black people have invented. But they don't put that out there because they don't want you to know who you are as a people. We are history.
Yeah. He said we the worst. But I want to...
Why did
Kanye said.
Why did Snoop say that, Mocha?
He said that because some stuff had went down, and it was to them attack against the black men, the black women, So he said we the worst, but Snoop, we not the worst. We are a
He said, "Who
chosen
the
generation.
worst?"
We are royal priesthood.
Black folks against black
He said
folks
we the
because
worst.
we don't know no better half the time.
That's what he was saying. I believe he was saying that we the worst.
Right. And
You know.
Kanye was saying, come on, y'all, get over slavery. It's been 2,000 years ago. Let it go. Get on with your life.
But you know
Educate
what?
yourself.
That
Do
is
what
so
you do.
funny,
Stop
yeah.
holding on to the past.
But-
That's what Kanye said.
Yeah, okay.
I concur with him. I don't
If
care what
that's
nobody
the
say.
case, then
Love you, Kanye.
they always say,
I'm
"Hey,
educating my
time
black
passed,"
I'm
but
educating my black son.
great grandmamas was raped and carrying on.
Yeah.
and men in jail today for rape. So why we ain't letting go of they past? I mean, it's easy to say let go, just like when your baby saw them people shackled and lifelike things, and it made him sick.
Yeah.
We don't supposed to let that go.
Yeah, we gotta let it go to
We
a
gotta
degree.
let it go.
We can't hold on to
I
that.
don't feel like we should let it go, but I do feel like it should make us strong enough to overcome it. But we shouldn't. We can't be
So
paid.
you want your 1 acre and a mule?
They can't pay me for the trauma that I done experienced.
But did you experience that trauma or you experiencing your now trauma? Because your now trauma is what you're experiencing. That trauma, we ain't have to experience that,
We
thank
didn't
God.
experience that.
So that's what he said, let go of that because you wasn't
No,
there.
I ain't letting that go.
And if you was there, well, we'd be like,
If we
well,
let that go, so
they
they get a pass.
They
They get a pass, and we still didn't get our horse and
1 acre
one
and a
acre
mule.
and a mule. Still ain't got it. But they
I
get
got
a
mine.
pass.
I got my 1 acre.
Where you get it, girl?
I had to work hard. I go to work every day. It's not a 1 acre. It's 1/4 of an acre, but I got some acreage.
They didn't give it to you.
It wasn't given. I'm from Jamaica, and I can tell you that every
Go, girl.
local
You laid the
Jamaican
law
that
down.
I ran into
Both of y'all.
knew their history.
See,
Knew
blame
knew
for
Bob
real.
Marley. They knew all the athletes that
I
contributed to
bet.
putting that island on the map. And I'm a little ashamed that I don't know half of the African Americans who contributed to who we are
Yep.
as strong black women. As
Yep.
you know,
That's
not
Black American.
it's sad.
It is.
It is.
It is. I'm guilty too. I'm guilty too.
I'm very guilty.
So in closing,
Man, that was deep right there.
It was.
Why she had to go there, people?
We needed
Marks,
it.
why did she? It's the truth, though.
Because
It
you
is
know
the
what,
truth.
It was necessary.
and that's why we the walks of life.
That's
To
it.
bring the truth on
Yep.
so we can do better.
That's
when
right.
you know the truth, you do better.
Come on.
Amen.
history, and hearing all of us, we're all history. We're all
That's
we're
it.
all
That's it.
products of making our own history. So what we're gonna do better is spotlight Bentley because she's history making. Save about that life because she's history making, and Barb the boss because she just saved somebody 4 weeks ago doing CPR
Amen.
who OD'd. This woman
Okay.
is always falling into some saving moments.
And
I never thought
corporate.
about it like that.
See?
And corporate, who's
Yeah.
always trying to keep us organized, and I'm not doing good.
She's doing
But
You are, and
You
you
are.
pushing us
Yes. We
to
need
the
that.
corporate life.
We need that.
but
Well, look, you corporate, we gonna be the finest.
I just want to say Black history doesn't have to be past. It doesn't have to be. It could be someone in your family. It could
Yes.
be you making a difference.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Because I am Black history.
I am Black history.
I am Black
I
history.
am Black history.
And
We are the walks of life.
She know we was.
I heard it go do
You heard it go do.
Why you ain't say nothing?
I'm not on duty.
I just told her whole